Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 5 important back to school planning and organizing tips that will help you as a parent to avoid that dreaded back to school stress and anxiety. Yes, I'm a mom to 3 young ones and I know from experience how that back to school excitement can quickly turn into a very stressful and overwhelming situation for the whole family. Now, preparing your kids for school in a very stressful and overwhelming environment will not only affect the spirit with which they start school, it will also affect your productivity as a parent, taking care of them, and even as an individual in your everyday endeavors. And as you all know, here on Shanti Bloom, I share applicable principles and these everyday practical steps that will help you to move away from those things that get you stuck, keep you stuck, over to where you can bloom and flourish in your everyday life. So if you're new here and you're interested in something like this, then please consider subscribing. Come over, join this beautiful family of bloomers, and let's get on this journey together. Now, over to our 5 tips. Number 1 is to make a to-do list. It's very important that you make a to-do list because around this time of the year, parents are so overwhelmed with so many things. There are purchases to be made, maybe forms to be filled, doctor's appointments that you have to go to. There's just so much that if you leave everything up in your head or in your brain, you will be overwhelmed. But if you put everything down, you make a to-do list, like these are the things that I have to do, it gives you a picture of where you are. You may be able to realize that, oh, I think I have more to do than I thought, or I do not really have as much as I was afraid that I had. And I think that just having this clear picture of where you are and the things that have to be done is going to reduce your anxiety. Now, just having a to-do list is not good enough. If you do not break it down in order of importance and urgency, you'll be all over the place, because you could be here trying to shop for school shoes and then you have an email pop up reminding you that today's the deadline for signing up your children for sports. Now you're over there trying to sign them up for sports. You realize that you needed to have done their physical. Now you're thinking about the doctor. As you're thinking about the doctor, the supply list pops up. You see some items on that supply list, you have no idea what they are. It's all of this drama that always leads to that anxiety and stress. So when you've made your to-do list, break it down in order of importance and urgency. I cannot be here shopping for shoes if I've not even registered my child for school. Which one comes first? And after you have done all this prioritizing, the next thing is to schedule. Now, something I'll encourage that you should add to that list and schedule it is some fun breaks. Again, I understand it's 2 weeks, 1 week to school, and I'm not saying you should go plan another big vacation, right? It's just about little fun activities. It could just be an evening walk. Use it as an opportunity to talk with the kids, ask them little things about how they feel about going back to school. It could be sitting around watching a good movie after a long day of shopping. It could be maybe you going out to the park, throw those blankets or towels on the floor and grab those sandwiches and just have an afternoon picnic like lunch with family. What I'm saying is that at times your child may be anxious about going back to school. Maybe it's their first time to school, or they're moving up a grade, or they're changing schools and they're overwhelmed. It's very easy for you to start getting overwhelmed and stressed out because they are. And sometimes it's the other way around. You are so overwhelmed, so stressed out, the process is just, and soon the kids begin to feel the same way, like, oh my goodness, this going back to school is a very stressful and overwhelming process. But when you incorporate these fun breaks in between the preparation, it ensures that there is a kind of calm and relaxed environment even as you plan for school. Number 2, delegate tasks. Many times we're overwhelmed with so much to do, but we do not realize that we can delegate those things. You have your spouse, you have your kids, their friends and family members who are available and are willing to help. Maybe a friend is willing to keep your kids for an hour or 2 while you run out there and do some shopping, or when it comes to forms to be filled, maybe your spouse can help you, some organizing that has to be done, in the house, the kids can help you. Just a week ago, I had some forms that I had to fill. And so while I was busy in the kitchen, it came back to my mind. And I was like, what am I doing? My daughter's go with a computer. I called for her. She got my laptop. She sat right next to me. I was doing my work. and she was filling those forms. She asked me questions where she was in doubt, but at the end of the day, all I had to do was look through everything, make sure it was properly done, and I just hit the submit button. So you can delegate tasks. And you may be saying, well, I have very young ones, I don't think they can be of any help. Trust me, those little people can be of help. You just have to give them more simpler instructions that are very specific, and of course about things that they can do. I say, okay, get out all your sneakers from the closet. That's the only instruction. They get it all out, then you give them the next instruction. If task is being shared and delegated in, among yourselves, at the end of the day, it becomes a win-win. Under this point of delegating and asking for help, I also like to encourage you that you should connect with other parents. When you connect with other parents of the same class or school, it is very helpful. It makes you not to feel all alone, going through all that confusion and stress all by yourself, and that really helps lowers your anxiety. I've connected with parents in the past in the class, and we just exchange information. An email may come in, I read it, I don't really get it, and I call another parent and they explain it to me. Or we can remind each other of events and deadlines. It just helps you, take away that stress. So please learn to delegate, ask for help, connect with other parents so that you can relate and you can feel like I'm not in this all by myself. Number 3, set routines, or let me say reset the routine, because when summer comes, we kind of slow down on routines. We do not make things too strict, or maybe you just change school routine to summer routine, right? And even parents tend to change, especially working parents. They kind of change their work schedules at times because the kids are out of school, and now when school begins, it's a different schedule. Now if you allow, like I personally always allow my kids to go maybe an hour or two above their usual bedtime. They sleep a little late, wake up a little bit later. If you allow that until the first day of school, it's going to be a problem. It will be difficult for them to just suddenly switch into the new school time, and because they are finding it hard to adjust to that new routine, it will also affect even you and your own routine, or the routine that you have set in place for everybody. So it's important that you set these routines early enough and start to practice it, 3 weeks, 2 weeks before school resume. The wake up and bedtime should reflect how it would be on the first day of school. Your meal times, homework time, playtime, whatever, it should reflect how it would be when schools begin. That way, when school actually starts, it's kind of like second nature for you and the kids. Another good thing is that it gives room for adjustment, because you've already tested it out a week or two. You know what needs adjustment, you know what will work and what will not work, so when school begins, you are kind of already in your game. Number 4, stay organized. Create a student-friendly environment. If you do not do this, that schedule or routine, it will be very difficult for you to carry it out. Because if you say, okay, at this time, the kids are to be having a homework, where should they have the homework? Is the place comfortable? Is it calm? Is it quiet? Is it kid-friendly? You have to ask yourself those questions. And whether it's a big or small space, the point here is to keep it organized. My kids are going to hang up their backpack or lean it here when they get back from school. If you do not make it clean and clear, then that backpack will be lying on the kitchen counter on Monday. It's going to be lying on the bed on Tuesday. It's going to be at the door on Wednesday. And, that will just set you of your routine. But when you create these centers, when you organize, and please involve the kids. When you involve them in the process, they make it their own, and because they've made it their own, they will follow through with it. I'll be organizing centers for my kids this coming weekend, because I've been waiting for all the supplies or school supplies that I ordered to come in first before I carry out that activity. If not, I would have popped up a few videos for you. But if you're interested in a video like that, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I may consider making one. But please try to be organized and stay organized. Whether you have a big or a small space, try to do that. get your kids into that routine and understanding, the flow of things, it will save you a lot of headache. And finally, stop worrying and start praying. Have you prayed for your child? Have you prayed for your children, for their school, their administration, that teacher that's going to be teaching your child, the friends, the students in that classroom? And when I say pray, I'm not saying that you're going to ask God to transform, bring the perfect teacher, perfect student, no, that school may still be the same school that it has always been. The prayer here is partnering with God. That Father, you're all knowing. I don't know everything. You are at the school when I am not there. But you've given me an assignment as a carer to these little ones. Reveal to me what I need to know. Grant me the wisdom that I need, during this academic year. Pray for that provision. Pray for that connection with another parent that you are hoping to have. Pray for every little, God is so interested in the little details of our lives. If we could just remind ourselves of those things, we will be asking him or involving him in every little detail of our lives. So involve him, partner with God, make him Lord. He is really Lord over your home and those kids and yourself and everything. And he will guide you through this academic year and make it a smooth one for you, in Jesus' name.